Very good.
And now we're ready.
All right, guys, appreciate you being here. Obviously, continuing to build for last home game, here for this season, with veteran appreciation and, the senior day, opportunity. I mean, it's a lot going into just, our response, our bounce back to go and play our best game. And, I think our guys, as I mentioned, Monday, I appreciate this team. I appreciate their work ethic. I appreciate, the mental attitude of which they bring. It's as you go through a season with disappointing results and times where you didn't either execute or, finish certain situations, or if there's, things, players, coaches, everybody involved, where you have those, whether it's a missed opportunity or just, just a bad play, bad call, whatever that is, owning that and being able to grow from it, I think is critical for, our own path of where we're going and what's in front of us. And I mean, I do see and feel a team that has an unbelievable sense of urgency for that. And it's been a quality week, but like I said, it's still, everything has to point to overall execution come Saturday. We are excited about the chance to finish up our home schedule, and we want to do it in a remarkable way. So, looking forward to that, and just got to have great preparation as we continue to progress.
Is drones, the way they're using him any different over the course of the season, or is it pretty much,
No, I mean, he's always been a threat. I mean, they've done a good job of, really, I guess, showcasing him in the triple option game. I mean, there's a ton of option, football that's going to show up, and he's done a great job of being a threat as a runner. I mean, he's obviously, we know him, we've seen him. He's a big kid, hard runner. He does bring elusive movements, and then I think their running backs that they're tough. I mean, they run hard. They're quick. They're quick and explosive movers. So I mean, that combination of it allows them to present some challenges. They'll utilize receivers in the run game. They'll mix up the different misdirections, and some of it's read game, some of it's direct called runs, and then there's times where you just have to even in a drop back pass game, if he gets an edge, if he has space, I mean he'll pull the ball down and obviously big capabilities as a runner, and that's something that we know defensively has given us some issues throughout the season. I think we're improving upon that. We were better there a week ago, but we have to have all hands on deck in coverage, as well as what we're doing, trying to account for all 11, because he's definitely a big part of what they're doing.
I know the goal is always to start fast, but with a guy like Drones who wants to be run heavy and they want to be run heavy, is it even more crucial to get up on the scoreboard against them and take them out there?
Yeah, I mean, any time that you can play from ahead, try to force a team to be a little bit more one-dimensional, especially when you have an offense that is so efficient and effective, and being able to run the football. We definitely want to try to force some long yardage situations, try to force them into, whether it is having to drop back. I mean, they've got some capable guys, but just to be able to kind of be able to play from ahead would be big. And I know that's something that we're when you look throughout the course of the season, when we can jump out and put ourselves in those positions, we're pretty tough. And there's been times where we've done that, and then obviously the times have not been as good as what we need to be.
Bernard, some of Chroma's rushing attempts have been a little bit lower the last few weeks compared to the start of the season. Is that a game flow thing? Is it
Yeah, I mean, I'll say the last one turned in more game flow. There was obviously Sam, and, kind of, I guess, bigger load there versus, Wake Forest, as this kind of go, but, excited about how Ooze has grown. And, you talk about confidence and seeing guys that you're progressing and, just really the finer details of what to do, how to do it, making sure we're in the right spot, whether it's in the run game, pass game, all that. And I think that he is, he's really ascending as the season's going. We do have a good running back room and some guys that, have experience and, have capabilities, but I mean, he's definitely going to be a key part of what we want to see as we're continuing to roll through the season.
You made a comment on Monday about you didn't go into detail, but it sounded like you were really happy with Sunday. Maybe what you saw from the team coming back from Clemson. And I was just curious how the week has been overall.
I mean, that's it was when you have a game like that. I mean, obviously extremely disappointing in the outcome and the result. But you go and you meet and you sit there and, I usually get a pretty good sense of the guys' mindset when you're starting that first meeting. And, they came in, they lifted, and then we went out to the practice and, it was probably one of the more aggressive Sunday practices that we've had. I mean, there was absolute purpose in every step. And, there's guys that played a lot of snaps, some guys sore, tired, whatever that, is when you get back at 3 o'clock in the morning, just some of those extenuating circumstances that could show up. But I mean, there was no distraction of the issue, or it was about, hey, what's today going to look like? Is today going to be, am I going to put all that I have in to go be what I can today? And that was, I was, even through, the disappointing result, I mean, I felt an absolute purpose to go get better and to go, just support their teammates, to challenge themselves, to challenge each other. So, I mean, it was good. And, I think this is a team that, nobody wants to have, nobody ever wants to lose. Nobody ever wants to go through it. And you know what? We shouldn't. I mean, but we got to put ourselves in position to go win the game, to finish the game, to do the things necessary, and that's going to happen by each and every one of us making the decision that, man, and all the things I can control, I'm going to control those, and I'm going to pour in. I'm going to prepare as good as I can prepare. I'm going to allow myself to learn the lessons that of the things I've experienced and take control of me, and then in the moment I got to do my job. And I got to fully commit to it. And whether it's a ball coming to me, whether it's a tackle I got to make, whether it's a block that needs a certain leverage. I mean, I'm going to do everything in my power to get that job done. And but it takes an extraordinary amount of work and preparation to be able to execute with that confidence. And I see our guys pushing to go do that.
Correct.
Who has been your best of the young guys? Your best backup offensive lineman? Like somebody that you could foresee being a college starter for multiple years.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a couple guys that are really ascending through. Obviously, we've stayed generally healthy, and then having Rizzy being the next guy. But I'm really pleased seeing Otto is coming along, doing some good things. Chavez is I think. I mean, I'm excited about what I'm seeing from him. I think both of our tackles, Lucas and Jonathan Daniels, have improved throughout the course of this season, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that continued ascension. And I think the freshman group, which I know I talked about Sandman, that's what he goes by, but he's been in that mix, but I mean that freshman group has got a real shot, and there's some guys. Chasen Brown's gained, I think, 40 plus pounds since he's been here, maybe 50 pounds since he's been here. You see the flashes. Jalen Matthews, I mean, absolutely see the flashes of what he's capable of. So that group of offensive linemen that we have, and I think Herb's doing a great job. With his assistants there, coaching the position, and you're seeing some real development and growth, and those guys they're fighting for it. So I think we got a really good group that is going to be able to emerge. Here this next year is going to be very competitive, and and we're also going to continue to add some competition into that room, for guys to come in and compete for it.
We're going to go 3 more, Aslan.
You coached against Phil Montgomery, I think, 5 times prior and had some success. 4-1, a lot of success. When you watch that team, does it look like a lot of what you've seen previously, or is it different than?
I've got a lot of respect for Coach Montgomery. I mean, he's been very, very successful throughout his career. We've had a lot of very competitive battles and so you see the elements and traits offensively, things that he's done, but it's also he will adapt to his personnel and what he has. And I think he's done a good job with that. But really, as you see, this football team, I mean, it's always tough going through a change, and especially they had some early losses. But you see a team that's competing, playing hard. I mean, you watch the Cal game. I think it was double overtime. It was hard. It was fight. I mean, Louisville. I mean, I thought the Louisville game was probably one of their best games. You watch defensively. I mean, they got after it. I mean, and end result was not what they wanted, but I mean, you felt the way that they played, and so I think this is a team that I think he's done a good job of having guys highly motivated to go and put their best foot forward, and I got a lot of respect for him just for what he's done through his career.
Yeah. You mentioned the energy, the aggression in practice. For some of these guys, it's the last time they're going to be playing a Doak this weekend. Do you feel like that maybe has kind of added to the urgency and the intensity?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but like it's what's ahead. I mean, you pissed off. I mean, most of them, and it's just, when you're pissed off and grateful, is a good combination, because there's a lot of gratitude for the opportunity that they have with who they get to work with. Yes, we get to play our last home game. Our fans have been incredible. Even through the course of this year, or here at home. I mean, you feel it, and it's it's gonna be the last experience for some of these guys, and and regardless of whether it's one of the, I think it's 20 guys are gonna get recognized, but we got majority of the guys that are playing are still have eligibility after this year. So I mean, it's gonna be for that group. It's hey, we're gonna respect these guys that are playing our last one. We're gonna respect this university, but man, I want to go play my best game, and that's what I'm looking for. And I think that's the driving force as much as anything that that's around it.
Last one, Chris.
One of those guys who get recognized is Darryl Jackson Jr. What has he done in the last 11 months after making the decision to come back?
Yeah, I'm so proud of him, and I mean, like, you sit there and you watch the way that he plays, and I thought, and I really didn't mention it the other day, but I meant to. I mean, Darryl, Daniel Lyons, those guys played really, really hard. And I mean, I think you're feeling that, especially some of those guys in the interior defensive, part of the defensive front. But it starts with Darryl with how he practices. And he is, for as big and, strong and dominant as what he can be, I mean, he is pushing himself to go just get better. And, I think that he's, getting off blocks. He's continuing to do the things to be impactful. It might not always show up for the tackle or the TFL, but I mean, you have 4, sometimes 6 hands on him to try to neutralize him. And I mean, he's really playing at a high level, and I'm just grateful for his his passion and care for this university, for this team, for me, for this. Every part of it, and he's one of those guys. I mean, I've still got the picture of, when Darryl was a kid, sitting in the stands at Doak Campbell Stadium, and now he's getting a chance to play in his last home game, and you just want him to keep being himself. I mean, he's going to be an incredible, representative of what it is to be a Seminole, and he's going to be a great pro. So I mean, we want all of him these last. This back part of this season, but definitely for this last game that he plays at home.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Thanks, Adrian Medley in just a second.
Net ball.